Hello and welcome to Navigating Chronic Illness with Heart and Hope. I'm Valerie Alawier, and I'm so grateful you're here. Today, we're talking about something most people never say out loud, the grief that comes with living with chronic illness. Although it can be evidenced by tears and cries of pain and sorrow, it's not always dramatic or obvious. It can be quiet, lingering, subtle. Grief and chronic illness can look like canceling plans for the third time in a month, watching others do the things you used to love, feeling guilty because you don't look sick, but in truth, you're barely holding it together. It's wondering if people are tired of hearing about your pain and challenges or struggles, so you just stop talking about them. It's feeling as if you're not able to show up as the parent, partner, friend, or person you want to be. This is grief. But because it doesn't follow the rules of traditional loss, it often goes unacknowledged. You may feel like you're grieving something you never had, a future that was just out of reach, a version of yourself you were working toward but never became. That's real, and that matters. This invisible grief can leave us feeling isolated and stuck. But naming it is the first step toward healing. You don't have to minimize your pain, and you don't have to make the best of it to deserve compassion, and you don't have to do it alone. As a coach, I don't tell people how to feel or rush them to find silver linings. I walk with them. I offer tools and frameworks to help them move forward, gently, at their pace. So let this be your reminder today. If you're tired, it's not because you're weak. If you feel sad, it doesn't mean you're ungrateful. You're grieving, and that's human. Before we close out this first episode, I want to gently invite you into reflection. I've created a journaling companion to go along with this conversation entitled Grieving the Invisible. Something simple but meaningful to help you pause and connect with your own experience of grief and chronic illness. You don't need to carve out hours or write full paragraphs, and you don't need to be a writer to use it, nor do you need to share your reflections with anyone else unless you choose to. These pages are a space just for you, a place to name what's heavy and to hold it with gentleness. You can move through it at your pace, one reflection at a time. Here are the prompts you'll find inside.
Prompt 1. What have I lost that no one else seems to notice? Think about one small or silent grief you carry. It might be something no one ever talks about, like the way your energy disappears without warning, or the loss of spontaneity in your days. Ask yourself, how does this grief show up in my body, in my relationships, or in the way I move through the world? Prompt 2. What part of myself am I afraid is gone forever? This one is tender. Maybe it's part of your identity, a role you once played, or a joy you've had to put down. Name it. Then ask, what would it mean if I mourn this with kindness instead of shame? Prompt 3. If my grief could speak, what would it say? Try writing a letter from your grief to you or from you to it. Let it speak. Let it tell the truth. You might be surprised by what it has to say when you give it a voice. Prompt 4. What might healing look like, even if this never gets better? This one is not about fixing, it's about vision. If nothing else changes, what would peace look like anyway? Can you imagine a version of healing that includes your limits instead of fighting them? And prompt number 5. Where have I shown quiet courage lately? Grief makes us forget our own strength. So take a moment to name your courage. even if it looks like getting out of bed, saying no, asking for help, or simply surviving the day. You are already doing hard things, and that matters.
You can revisit this journaling companion anytime. There's no pressure here, just an invitation to be present with yourself. My hope is that it gives you language for things you felt but maybe haven't voiced, and reminds you that you are not alone in any of this, because in the midst of illness, uncertainty, and grief, you still matter, and you're not walking this alone. Thank you for letting me be a part of your journey. Don't forget to download your journaling companion if you haven't already, and meet me back here next time for another episode of Navigating Chronic Illness with Heart and Hope. Until then, thank you so much.
Grieving the Invisible, a journaling companion, located at https:// coaching for chronic illness.kit.com /288B9A4B03. Want to learn more? Subscribe to my newsletter for ongoing reflections, free tools, and notification of new episodes of Navigating Chronic Illness with Heart and Hope with Valerie Alawier, my video series on grief, illness, and gentle healing. Or visit us on our website at coachingforchronicillness.com to explore options to receive more support.